Hi everyone! Welcome to our class. This is Basic English with Mrs. A. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about sentence and phrase. Now, if you want to learn about them, then this video is for you. So without further ado, let's begin! Let us have a review first of our previous topic. In our old lesson, we talked about singular nouns and plural nouns. So we have learned in that lesson that singular nouns are nouns that mean only one, while plural nouns mean more than one or it means two or more. We also talk about how to make singular nouns into plural nouns. Most common nouns or most regular nouns form their plural by simply adding s or es, right? But there are nouns like sky, from which we have to change y into I before adding es. And there are also nouns ending in f or fe, like life, that we have to drop fe and change it to v to make it into lives. And then again, we say that for rules in pluralizing nouns, these are only for regular nouns. But for nouns that do not follow the rules in pluralizing, we call them as irregular nouns. Remember that? These are the nouns that form their plural by changing or retaining their spelling. Examples: ox, oxen, or sheep, sheep. Let us now read this following group of words. We will sell ice candy. The girls shouted in front of their house to help them buy. Now, among this group of words, which do you think is complete and which is not? When I say complete, it means these are the group of words from which you can easily understand and would be able to answer the questions that we are going to ask, like who will sell ice candy or who shouted? If your answer is we will sell ice candy or the girls shouted, and that is correct. These are the group of words that are complete. But the other one is not complete. We will sell ice candy, the girls shouted, are examples of what we call as sentences. The other one that is not complete are called phrases. Let us discuss first what a sentence is. A sentence is a group of words that has a complete thought. It is complete if it is something that you can easily understand and you would be able to answer some questions about it. It is a sentence if you begin it also with a capital letter. So kids, every time you write sentences, always begin your sentence with a big letter. And also end it with a punctuation mark. Examples. It's Mickey's birthday today. He looks very happy. These are sentences because it has a complete thought. They have a complete thought. If I'm going to ask a question in number one, whose birthday is it today? And the answer would be, it's Mickey's, right? Or if I say, when is Mickey's birthday? Then the answer would be, it is today. Who looks very happy? It is also Mickey. Now, look at how I wrote each of these sentences. I started it with a big letter and I ended it with a punctuation mark. Punctuation marks are period, exclamation point, or a question mark. Let us now discuss what we call as phrase. Now, children, phrase is the opposite of a sentence because it is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. It is not complete because it either doesn't have the subject or the topic or the noun or pronoun in the sentence, or it doesn't even have the verb or action verb that would describe the subject or noun in the sentence. Just like these examples, cat in the basket, the cat and roses. Yes, based on the given picture, we have here a cat in the basket, but it is not telling us what the cat is doing in the basket, right? It doesn't have what we call as the verb. Now, children, remember, every time we write sentences, we always have a noun or pronoun that would act as the subject or the topic, and there would always be a verb or a linking verb that would tell us or that would describe what the topic or what the subject is doing in the sentence. So same with the cat and roses, it doesn't tell us anything else about it except as cat and roses. That's why these words, group of words, are what we call as phrases. Now, to understand the lesson better, let us take a look at some examples of sentences and phrases side by side. I have here a very pretty lady dancing in the middle. For a sentence, I would say, the lady is very pretty. Isn't she? She is, right? Now, this one is a sentence because you have here the lady as the subject or the doer or the one being described. And I have here words is very pretty telling us or describing to us how the lady looked like. On the other hand, if I say the pretty lady, this is an example of a phrase because it doesn't tell us much more about the pretty lady. Or we say that this one does not have what we call a verb or even a linking verb to complete it to make it into a sentence. That's why it is a phrase. Let's have another example. She is wearing a nice gown. This time, we are using the pronoun she, which refers also to the lady, as the subject or topic in the sentence. And we are saying that the lady is wearing a nice gown. So we have here, is wearing a nice gown, describing to us what the lady is wearing. But if I say, is wearing a nice gown, is this complete? Of course not, right? Because if I ask you a question, who is wearing a nice gown? Would you be able to answer me or tell me? Of course not, because it doesn't tell us who is wearing a nice gown. Like I've said, because this is not complete. So again, when we say sentence, these are a group of words, or a sentence is a group of words that is complete, and it begins with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. While a phrase is not complete because it either lacks what we call as the subject or the topic in the sentence, or it doesn't have the verb or the words that would tell us what the subject is doing or what the subject is all about. Got it, kids? Okay, if you understood what sentence and phrase are, then let's try to do some exercises to just find out if you have really understood it. So if you're ready, let's begin. For this activity, let us tell whether the following group of words is a sentence or a phrase. First one, the book. So what do you think? Is this a phrase or a sentence? Phrase, right? Very good. How about this one? She reads fast. Can you tell me what is this? If your answer is sentence, then that's correct also. Very good. Another one. I love swimming. Would you say this is a sentence or a phrase? If your answer is sentence, then very good also. One more. My blue and long pants. Do you think this is a sentence or a phrase? Yes, it is a phrase. So kids, do not look at the length of the group of words. Not because it is long, you would automatically say it's a sentence. You always have to read and understand if the group of words has a complete thought or complete idea for it to be a sentence. It doesn't matter if it's short or long. And lastly, the car looks expensive. This one is definitely a sentence. Good job, children, if you got it all correctly. Very good. So that's the end of our lesson, kids. So remember, a sentence is a group of words that has a complete thought, begins with a capital letter, and ends with a punctuation mark. But the phrase is the opposite of a sentence. It is not complete. Okay? So I hope everybody you have learned something from it. So thank you once again for joining me in our class, and hopefully I'd see you again on our next lesson. Bye-bye!